that meowing? Could it be everyone's favorite cartoon character?
Monster person?
Yeah, monster person. No,
Uh,
listen, I watched the first episode of Dungeon Meshi, and I'm to understand that monsters are for cooking.
I got to do some vacuuming, so excuse me, please.
Anyway, I'm in hell.
Hey, Brayden, why don't you tell your viewers how I started the podcast?
What do you want me to tell my viewers?
Why don't you tell your viewers how I started the Game of the Year podcast for the Deep Listens Network?
Oh, they'll find out.
It was, let's say, I somehow one-upped myself, eh?
Yeah, they'll find out on Thursday. Oh.
Also, I'm convinced I have to do at least one more Etternights stream probably after you, only because I have to get to the scene where I have to show people the scene involving the maxi pads. I forgot about that shit.
Oh, where the first hangout thing you can do with Yuna is salvage maxi pads from a convenience store.
Yeah. Also, that whole system of, like, being dropped into a weird, random location, and then basically you have to kind of, like, run around in circles until you find the one thing that's the thing you're looking for, kind of sucks.
Is it good or is it great that the first thing you need to set, like, the first, hangout and salvage activity is literally like, I need maxi pads?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. Anyway,
also,
I'm in hell now.
Are you a fan of Bob Vids?
Oh, I saw some of that shit.
Have you seen the whole situation with Bob Vids now is apparently getting sued?
It reminds me of when
I'm gonna post this in the deep
Sterling. James Stephanie Sterling was being sued by the people making that low-effort Steam trash.
Oh, God.
Like, the same level of, like, weird, unhinged... response from a video game developer. Just like, what? Why are you like this?
I'm pretty sure for some of them, they're not from English-speaking communities.
Yeah, but this guy, yeah,
Just everything about this fucking sucks.
Everything about this.
The fact that he went to Bob Vid's like actual Twitch stream while he was streaming Lethal Company, and then like just inundated and set up bots to like harass him. Just like
it's amazing how like it's always the weirdos who make weird garbage who are the ones with like the hair trigger.
It's just like the entire situation is so bizarre because I don't think anyone gave a shit. Like, here's the other thing, like, no one gave a shit about this game before that video dropped. Yeah. I don't even think I was aware of it. And then the video dropped and it's like, yeah, that looks pretty exploitative and kind of crappy. And I kind of just moved on with my life.
And
like,
then,
whatever community was probably associated
with
that game.
He's cyberbullying me.
I mean, you cyberbully me, so you're very familiar with what an actual cyberbully is. As a cyberbully.
As a cyberbully, I'm here to say you deserve everything that comes your way.
That sounds like something a bully would say.
Okay, but how do you feel about the cyber demons?
I still, man, like, the weird consequence of this game is that this is the game where I think that id started to like try and take its storytelling and the world building of Doom a bit too seriously, which has even carried over into 2016 and Eternal.
I mean, 2016 is very tongue-in-cheek. Eternal is not.
Which is why I love and hate the commitment.
Anyway, they took away all my fun guns.
I still feel conflicted about, like, especially the DLC for Eternal.
I never played the Ancient Gods because I knew it would make me mad. Anyway, I appreciate this. Hell, looking like hell.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good level.
Oh, cool.
It's so
another,
good
it's
that
another, Baron.
It's such a good level that you can tell that Eternal pulls some ideas from this.
Yeah, Eternal's definitely brighter and more colorful, though. Like,
And last, hey, we're gonna throw another Baron at you.
oh, cool! Another Baron of Hell down this very
narrow corridor, so
narrow
you can't juke around
corridor
them.
that I. Oh, good. Worry not. We got this in the bag. This might be the most limp dick pistol. But yeah, the stuff with Bob Vids is just like, it reminds me of when Sterling got sued. It's just like the weirdest, most unhinged people making weird exploitative Steam trash, and then when they get called on it, their response is just to get louder.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm not now. I am curious as to what are the worst pistols in video games.
The
Halo
Makarov
2
and Stalker.
Yeah, Makarov and Stalker's pretty bad. The pistol in Halo 2 where they removed the zoom.
Nah, the pistol in Halo 2 is still great. You can still get
but they used to
headshots with that
zoom.
thing. The pistol in Halo 3 is bad.
The PS20 in Deus Ex.
No, that's right.
Hey, I remember the fucking PS20 in Deus Ex.
Oh, you mean
That's
the
a
single
piece of
shot
shit.
plasma pistol
Yeah.
that you think...
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this must be really good if you only get one shot, if it's, like, disposable like a lamb. No. No, it's not.
It's an actual literal piece of garbage. Like, there are fan patches that at least give you 8 shots
There's
in
that
it.
self-defense pistol in the Resident Evil remake that's kind of the same way. Where you get, like, 2 shots with it, and it doesn't have any ammo, and you're like, why is this in the game, other than, like, as a goof? Okay.
Death will not be your end. Your soul will burn in hell forever.
Okay. See, I like this because this just reminds me of a Disney ride now. Oh, yeah.
What was the Battlefield 1 pistol that everyone hated? Was that the...
I mean, there's the like
Colibri?
the little tiny pistol that's there
Yeah,
as
the
a
tiny
meme.
pistol. It's there for a meme, though. But, like, yeah, that was pretty bad. I mean, if we're...
Okay, that was fun. And now I have unlimited sprint. Which is also fun. Yeah. Hell is a mediocre Zelda dungeon is something I'm putting on a t-shirt.
Yes,
Okay, they're just giving me all my guns back. That's good. Should I play Resurrection of Evil?
I mean, you're committed to your bit, aren't you? How committed?
How committed am I? Here's the thing. I'm having an alright time with this game. Now that, like,
You're
I
done
got
with the
past the
bullshit?
opening few hours and got guns that aren't a joke.
Yeah, other than, like, Stalker and,
I'm trying to think.
God.
What's another, like, famously
bad starting weapons.
like,
it's Stalker. I
yeah.
feel like it's Stalker.
Yeah, the Makarov you start with in Stalker is borderline useless.
Especially if you're not going to get rid of the, head bob.
Yeah, well, listen. Playing unmodded Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl is an adventure of itself. The
I didn't
SMP
like
and
the-
RE4,
I didn't
nah,
like-
the TMP's fine.
I was not a huge fan of the pistol in 2016, but what about the blaster in Quake 2?
Oh, the blaster in Quake 2 is... yeah, useless.
There's also, I'm just trying to remember your playthrough from last year, the staff in Heretic.
The staff in Heretic is just a Doom pistol.
And then you played Super Noah's Ark with the slingshot as a joke.
I have not played Super Noah's Ark. Do not foist that upon me.
Don't you want that evil on you?
No, I don't. Like, the thing about Super Noah's Ark is that that game in its SNES context was like, hey, isn't it crazy that this bootleg ass cartridge you have to put on top of another cartridge because it's an unlicensed thing?
Isn't that hilarious?
Isn't that crazy? And also, it's literally a Wolfenstein mod, but for Noah, because weird Christian game developers.
Oh, I know you're not a fan of the game in general, but Fallout 4 has that pipe gun.
Yeah. I mean, you could put enough points and make any gun in that game good. The pistol in,
The SMG in RE4, that's a good pick.
no, the TMP's good. The remake makes those SMGs way better, though.
I mean, he said RE4, so I assume without the modification of remake.
Sometimes you need to just spray a bunch of shit. Although, you know, sometimes I just don't get it because the shotgun is just fine. I know people really don't like the pistol in the that Bionic Commando reboot, the 09.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about that game is that the shooting is actually the worst part. Like,
Yeah,
I just
they put all their points into swinging.
and even that is super frustrating and annoying to do.
It, you know, the pistol in the pistol in Doom 2016, like, I feel like you're either the id school of pistols are the useless backup weapon you will never touch, and after an hour in, or you're the Bungie school of the pistol is secretly better than the assault rifle. That's not true.
Well then, every gun is bad. No, I'm also not gonna agree with that.
Listen, the super shotgun is very good in that game. Does it perhaps trivialize the rest of the arsenal? A little bit.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna talk about a gun that trivializes the rest of the game,
The Halo 1 pistol.
The Halo 1 pistol, also, I think, underrated pick. Fear 1, the minute you get the shotgun, the VK-12.
Oh, yeah, once you get the SPOS 12...
Once you get the shotgun.
Yeah, once you're running around with the SPOS 12 and slow-mo... Oh, God. Fear is so good.
Fear 1, right? Like,
yeah, Fear 1.
With shotgun?
The shotgun in Fear 1 is... I mean, you can do
busted.
Bad things with 2 pistols in that game, too.
But the minute you get the shotgun, there is no going.
I mean, you get a railgun in that game.
But even then,
and
like the corridor, the gritty corridor, like stuff with Fear 1 basically just evaporates the minute you get that shotgun.
Flashlight.
It's great. It's great. I know a lot of people talk about like the double barrel from Doom 2 as a GOAT in terms of
the super shotgun
shotguns.
from Doom 2 is certainly iconic.
Which is why, you know, why are the shotguns in Quake so shitty?
I mean,
like,
that's just the Quake school of. I'd say the super shotgun in Quake 2 does work.
The double barrel in Quake 3 is awful.
But once again, that's the id school of. Are shotguns a basic weapon or a power weapon, right? So that's, that's Team Fortress 2, for example, is a game where shotguns are shitty backup weapons. The Scout can make some use of it, but the Scout gets a better shotgun than everyone else.
Richard's shotgun in the remake is really satisfying.
Yeah.
That assault shotgun. I don't know if it's overpowered, but man.
It's cool that you get another shotgun. Weird baby things. What am I playing? Dante's Inferno? Remember how Dante's Inferno, one of the first enemies you encounter is the souls of unbaptized babies because it's edgy.
But I mean, if we're talking about like Resident Evil shotguns, let's talk about the Hydra RE5. It's got 3.
It's a 3-barreled shotgun that. Yeah, I mean, at some point, you just start talking about the super
Resident
shotgun
Evil 5.
in Proteus, which has 4 barrels.
Yeah, the problem with the Hydra is you have to play Resident Evil 5.
Having played Resident Evil 5, let's say, over New Year's, in I believe that was the game I played when I was playing that game with Joku when the clock struck midnight. I don't think you should play Resident Evil 5 in this day and age. I think the pacing in that game is miserable. Because you are just constant. It is an endless,
Uncomfortable also.
monotonous. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. But it is also just like an endless, monotonous, like constantly go, 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 go. See, the plasma rifle's great. Because it's like a machine gun, but better. I mean, it could be worse. I could be playing Rage.
Oh, and then you're gonna invite the people who like Rage.
Yeah, all 5 of them. They're gonna find me.
I actually think that the start of Rage is good to okay. And then you get to that last third of Rage with the underground shit is so fucking awful.
I wouldn't know. I never played it, and also the PC version is currently kind of poor. Because they never bothered to optimize it.
You know
for
what's a
PC.
game that I want to go back to because I've been thinking about that franchise because supposedly we're going to get the next movie is I've been thinking about the Mad Max game.
Uh-huh. Everyone's favorite Avalanche game. That thing seems totally fine.
I've seen people say that not only is it totally fine, but that game doesn't get enough credit.
I don't know. Those people are the same people who will play every single Far Cry game and be like, yeah, they're great. I just need to turn off my brain and clear out outposts for 50 hours.
It's like, oh,
That's yes.
like every time I see that Avatar game in motion, it's like, yeah, they made one of those that seems pretty interesting on paper. Zero appetite, and I'm not even talking about the fact that I'm not a huge Avatar person.
It's not even the part where yeah, it's a perfect Steam. I mean, I feel like perfect Steam Deck game is oh, what is this thing?
Pejorative at this point, like it's
perfect Steam Deck game feels almost like a pejorative. Oh, that's
hey.
a big man.
So have you enjoyed the boss fights in this game?
What boss fights?
I mean, like the bigger arena encounters like these that are essentially bosses.
I am indifferent. I think the encounters in this game are fine.
Talk about praise. You can put on the box.
Destroy the Seekers, and the Guardian becomes vulnerable. Destroy the Seekers, and the Guardian becomes vulnerable.
Okay, ominous voice. Someone's barking upstairs. He's going borf, 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 borf. Probably sees the neighbor dogs. He's just like, oh, they're peeing outside.
My.
Save us.
The Ubisoft model of open world game broke for me around Far Cry 4.
I obviously I go further than you. I think it, for me, was Valhalla. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And, like, needing to ferry your boat between, like,
Guys, I have important
continent.
Bo the dog is here.
Yeah, what does Bo the dog think about this encounter that you're dealing with right now?
She would like to leave this room. Just bark at the other dogs. There we go. Hey, Bo, come here. Come here, buddy.
We are many. We are one. We are the brilliant Thor. You know us as the
I
soul.
wish I could understand what they were
Free us
saying.
from our eternal prison, and we will help you. Vanquish our enemies, and we grow stronger. Listen for our
Maybe you
call,
should have read a data log.
and free us to smite down the evil.
Hey, buddy, come here. No, he's just sitting in front of the door looking at me. Being like, why won't you let me out? I need to save
That's like the weird, carryover from this game to, like, 2016 and Eternal. You read a lot of data logs for the world to make sense.
Destroying evil gives us life and makes us strong.
You read a lot of data
Unleash us with
for the
pure
world to make sense.
We will pass the life force to those who stay to you. You will see a great battle. Outcome is not clear. We are the only way to
Alright, we're back in... We've left Hell. And now we've got this cube.
Hell no longer needs that portal to enter this world. The invasion.
People who
saw
want you to
was
use
only
the
first
cube.
wave.
They're
The Hell
trustworthy
Gate is capable
people.
of sending millions of my children into
Nothing
your
bad
world.
will happen.
Soon, we'll sit from
Looking
Earth,
at the door.
and with their ships, we will bring this hell to Earth. This hell to Earth.
Buddy, what's your motivation? Why do you want to destroy everything with Hell?
It kind of
just-
reminds me of the villain in The Fifth Element, played by
The Gary Oldman character?
yeah. It's like you're constantly worried about money, and there's no universe to use your money if you keep siding with the ultimate evil.
Hello? Oh. Hey, boy. Sorry, bud, there's a baby sleeping. Oh, cool. You can't have you borking.
You are too late. Hell no longer needs that portal to enter this world. The invasion you saw was only the first wave. The Hell Gate is capable of sending millions of my children into your world. Soon, the fleet from Earth will be here, and with their ships, We will bring this hell to Earth.
Hell to Earth, you say? That doesn't seem... Oh, it drains health? Is that what that does?
Yep. Still thinking about, you know, after you fought all of those demon spider things, I'm still thinking about the arachnophobia toggle in Lethal Company.
And how it just replaces spider with the word spider?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what we call a good game design.
That's a good game. We should play that game at least one more time.
Yeah, now all generic open world games want to be Breath of the Wild. I own Immortals Phoenix Rising. I have never played it because it was $10. So if I wanted to play it, I could. That's the important part. Just like how the games I bought during GameStop's big clear out sale are still in the shrink wrap. Should I start streaming the Diofield Chronicle? Okay, that has utility. You know, I haven't played enough. Oh cool, the Archvile. The Archvile's here, guys. Yeah, the Wheel of Dubious Tactics games. Because, you know, I haven't finished Triangle Strategy. Oh, cool. It does the thing the Archvile does, which is resurrect enemies. Hey, buddy. Oh, he's just sleeping now. Or laying down. He's just like, if you won't let me out, I'm going to bed.
I mean, the Archvile has kind of always been a dick. So
Yeah, and I mean, that's the point of...
the Archvile.
Am I getting Unicorn Overlord? If I had money, I'd consider it. I'll play a Vanillaware Tactics game. Although I believe George Kamitani is not very involved in this one, which is why it's why all of the female characters just don't have giant heaving bosoms. But yeah, sure. Just, will I play Persona 3 Reloaded? Maybe. It's on Game Pass.
$70. Oh.
It's on Game Pass. So that makes it a much easier proposition.
Like, I feel like, even though I know that the answer is that Vanillaware's strategy is to just, like, re-release remasters of games that they released, like,
Oh, you
5
mean
years
like
prior.
Grimoire once more?
Or, like, Dragon's Crown Pro, or Odin Sphere, or the Muramasa Rebirth game that was only on Vita that they probably should have just released on everything.
Yeah, at some point, listen, at some point we'll get, yeah, a Muramasa re-release on something that isn't the Vita. Because that's like the one at this point, right?
But yeah. I mean,
Looks like you might be on your own.
13 Sentinels is still just PS4 and Nintendo Switch.
Yep. Also, none of those games are on PC.
Hi.
Hi, Justin.
This doesn't look like hell.
Sorry, we already got out of hell. We were there
Oh.
for 5 minutes.
Really?
The hell sequence was not very long.
I
I've
recall
only
it being
been
a lot
playing this for
longer. Did
40
you get the Soul
minutes.
Cube?
And hell was half an hour.
Got the cube.
Huh?
You got
You got the cube? Okay.
I got the cube. I got the sharp Nintendo Game Cube.
I just recall hell being a lot longer in this game. Anyway, so in the original launch of the game, you didn't get a flashlight in hell.
Okay, it's a Marvelous AQL thing. Listen, Marvelous is great if you need dungeon crawlers for the Vita with busty ladies, or weird Muso adjacent games with busty ladies, or they probably publish something else. Tactics games with busty ladies, maybe. People. Hey, what's up, buddy? He's just looking at me. Just going.
Fourth.
No, he's going.
These other dogs.
It's just it's a growl of mild annoyance.
Oh. So is Bo one of those dogs where indoor house, this is my territory, all other dogs are evil, and then once outside,
it's very much
okay?
like if someone if someone is outside the house, he loses his shit, but as soon as we let them inside, he's just all tail wags. I assume this is where I have to go.
Go in the flush thing.
Yeah. That, or there's some place. Is there a hole in the floor I need to go through? Yeah, I have 13 Sentinels on PS.
Switch for me. It's good, other than the fact that,
Other
I
than
wish-
all the things that people talk about where it's like, these teenagers sure do hang out in these robots without any clothes on. That's a weird,
choice.
that's a Vanillaware choice.
I think the one thing that I had to explain to A1 Sweep was like, Why is she running around in her panties? And it's like, those aren't panties, those are bloomers. This is an anime thing. I can't explain it beyond that, otherwise I sound even worse.
They're athletic shorts.
Where are you hiding?
Should Doom Guy have a face?
No comment.
Doom should have a face.
Oh, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Every now and then, it gets a little bit harder. Every now and then, I get a little bit lonely. But yeah, I still have, Dio Field, Valkyrie Elysium, and, Wanted Dead. Just waiting to be used for evil. You know, people love Valkyrie Profile, so what if I played, the extremely mid-budget action RPG that no one played and even fewer people seem to like? What's up,
Seem
buddy?
to recall Wanted Dead is also incredibly short.
Yeah, no, but that game seems, there's a reason why I picked that. Because that's, if I ever end up doing the Dubious character action stuff, which I will do that, or I will do another thing of Dubious RPGs. Okay, fine. Okay, fine, I'll let you out. Triangle strategy is okay.
Ready to go, WK. You made him angry. Now we're gonna have to listen to him talk about that. Tactics Ogre's fine. Like, my problem with Tactics Ogre, like as a series, is I'm not that enthused by all of the open world exploratory stuff. Even though I got deeply, deeply, deeply obsessed with it on the N64 game. I got this is pretty dark shit for me. But other than that, I mean, like, the Tactics Over games are, like, style and like, very light strategy. Because if it weren't for the strategy stuff, it's, like, just Matsuno doing this, like, world-building exercise. Just lore upon lore upon lore, and then, like, hey, evil monarchy versus good monarchy. Tactics Odor is was the Japanese strategy game. Yeah, like, I'm not even gonna dispute that, but, like, as a weird Shozo Kaga pervert, I can't even, like,
The
say that
Japanese strategy game is Famicom Wars.
Wow, you just came back with a vengeance.
Sorry, I had to... Beauregard needed to bark at the neighbors' dogs.
But yeah,
I
don't
mean,
know.
Genealogy and Tactics Ogre both came out around the same time.
It's just WK is trying to say that the Japanese tactics game is Tactics Over and not Fire Emblem, and
And anyway, once again, it's the answer is it's
complicated.
Famicom Wars.
It's actually Famicom Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're really, really gonna get technical, like, it's not necessarily, like, the game that was the first. It was the game that maybe probably popularized it. It's probably Nobunaga's Ambition as well.
Yeah, it's Nobunaga's Ambition. But then we get into, like, what were Japanese PC games like in the 80s. And also what was... Because I'm sure there's some popular Famicom thing that we're
Sure. And again, like, it's not necessarily the first game that gets people really into it. Like, I mean, the way that Eastern Europe feels about Heroes of Might and Magic, like, that's how Japan feels about Nobunaga's Ambition, like that entire franchise and series.
I'm sure you could find a white person who cares about Nobunaga's Ambition. I don't know any of them. But they put those games out over here in the 90s. Yeah, people like the Pokemon spin-off. Listen, people like a Pokemon anything. Name a Pokemon thing that people don't like. And if you say Scarlet and Violet, no, those games sold like 30 million copies. The Poke people, you know, had maybe justifiably so, were mad about those games. And the part where, they barely function. Oh, there's a... There's a fucking data pad I missed somewhere. I watched Pokemon Concierge today because it's very short because there are only 4 episodes and they're like 20 minutes each. That is some very charming ass stop motion animation.
It's a cool idea.
And also, this is something I've been thinking about a little bit, but basically ever since the Sun and Moon anime, I feel like it's abundantly clear that the Pokemon Company understands that a lot of the people who are into Pokemon are millennials and older Zoomers.
I think they're starting to thread the needle a lot better than they have
And
before.
so that's why, like, a lot of Pokemon stuff now is very slice of life.
With usually standing characters that are adults meant to be like, hey, we know that you watching this is
We know
probably
that-
from the 90s and old.
I would argue that when you are selling 30 million copies, that is a success. For as much as people like us got mad about Scarlet and Violet being technical nightmare. But yeah, it turns out that oh, posting the daily security codes on the data boards. Cool. But yeah, Pokemon Concierge is fun because it's about an overworked woman who decides to get a new job working at a Pokemon resort. And it's just very comfy. And you're like, that's the goddamn cutest stop motion Pikachu I've ever dang seen. 627. There's a stop motion Trubbish. Everyone loves Trubbish.
Oh.
What was it? 627? Yeah, Trubbish is a literal pile of garbage. It evolves into Garbodor, which is an even bigger pile of garbage. You know, people, yeah. But yeah, the Pokemon Company understands that I exist and have still too much of my brain space taken up by the names of all of the Pokemon. Except for the most recent gen. I don't know any of them. My nephew, for his 2nd birthday, he got a Piplup plush that is as big as he is. No, I didn't play, like, Scarlet and Violet are the first gen of Pokemon that I never played. Because I never finished Sword and Shield, but I had an alright time. I like... My favorite Pokemon from that gen are still the fossil Pokemon, where they clearly, incorrectly shoved two halves of two different Pokemon onto each other. And they all look like they're in horrible pain. And I don't know, I'd play the Arceus game. If it wasn't still the price it is. Uh-oh. Someone's woken up from his nap. Let's hope he goes back to bed.
Who woke up from the nap? The dog? Doge?
It's not a dog. It's not the dog I'm scared of.
A baby?
Yes, one that... He is one that toddles.
How is Babby formed?
Okay. When a mommy
How
and a
girl
daddy
get
love each
pregnant?
other very much.
Man. Are you looking forward to, like, the way, like, four years ago, like, every comedy was, like, referencing 80s shit? Like,
Oh
now
yeah,
we're
I
gonna
can't
enter
wait
the internet
for
age.
The 90s nostalgia boom to really kick off. Because everyone's like, hey, remember when we didn't worry about things? And the biggest controversy was that the President of the United States
Was having
coerced
sex.
an intern to give him a blowjob. Yeah, I guess so. I guess the biggest game of this year is probably going to be FF7, huh? Well, listen.
Game.
Let me tell you, the biggest game of this year is going to be The Last of Us 2 Remastered.
It's also Riven remastered.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the Riven remaster.
All right.
What?
No, I'm gonna get a child. You distract them. You distract the people.
I think that I've said this before. Like, the interesting thing about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the fact that it seems as if, with all of the interviews and preview stuff that the directors have talked about, that they're going to be even more buck wild with integrating the compilation of Final Fantasy characters into the reboot trilogy. So they're going to be much more explicit about having those Dirge and Ever Crisis characters with your Final Fantasy VII standbys. And that's going to be, like, great. Just give it all. Give me all of it. Give me, like, we already know that goddamn Angeal is in the Ever Crisis wannabe game. We've already got all of those terrible I mean, Intergrade has that boss battle, right? So give me Genesis. Like, let's stop fucking around. Give me Genesis. Let's go. Let's go full trash. My mouth is wide open. Put in the conveyor belt. Fill it with trash. Give me all of the fucking... Oh, Gino, you've joined us. We're literally talking about what do we want to see in Rebirth. And it is... Fuck me up. Give me all of the trashy characters. Do it all. Give me Genesis. Angeal. All
I
of
want
those
Deep
fucking
Ground.
Dirge Give me all of those dirt. Like, you did what you did at the end of Intergrade for a reason. So just have Nomura.
Deep Ground is live. Deep Ground
like,
is.
if you're gonna do
It was
all
in
of it,
remake.
if you're gonna do the weird ghost shit where you're basically telling fans that fuck off, we're gonna make the game that we want to make. Like, you don't do that shit unless you fully commit to the bit. Give it all. It's all on the table. Give me all.
I want to know the dark backstory of Vice. That's what's really cool to me. I want to know about.
Will Gax make an appearance?
Yes, I want Gax to feature prominently. I want to know. You know, I was always wondering what Rosso the Crimson was up to. What's her deal? You know, that's what I think whenever I start playing Final Fantasy VII.
And they've
What's
already,
Rosso the
they've
Crimson
already
doing?
had a lot of those characters in the mobile game, soon to be released on. I think it has it re-released on Steam and mobile, where you just can pay a one-time fee and be done with it. But yet, all of those characters are in that mobile tie-in, which is actually maybe more important to play before Rebirth than I'd like to admit.
I want to know what Azul the Cerulean is up to. What is Shulk doing?
Wait,
What is,
Azul the Cerulean?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Blue the
Yes.
Blue?
Blue the Blue,
Yeah.
Azul the Cerulean, Rosso the Crimson.
I mean, Brayden,
Shulk.
this is the same company that named a character Ignis.
Ignis is
Shulk.
fire.
What,
No,
Sh-
Shulk
what
is
is
a
the
different
one-armed?
character.
Like the
What-
weird thing is, Gino, is that all of these characters are already canonical.
Oh, I know.
because of
I'm
the
saying.
mobile game.
I'm saying they need to get deeper in. No, these are all characters from Dirge of Cerberus. I am saying.
Yeah, they've already had them appear in the mobile. The only character that has not made an appearance like explicitly is Genesis. Everyone else has.
What about the one-armed, one-legged doctor, who is like the person who provides Vincent with weapons? That lady. Let me find her name. It's a
Anyways,
ridiculous
like,
character design.
I don't know.
Dirge.
The thing that is still like up in the two things are up in the air. Do they actually commit to Aerith not dying? That's the first thing.
Yes, that's
And then
happening.
two-
Let's assume that's happening.
Aerith is dead or
Not
will
dead.
die or
She
will not die.
Cloud will die.
And then the other second thing that is
the
up in the air.
last Final Fantasy VII game will be the rest of that party coming to terms with a world where Cloud is not the protagonist of Final Fantasy VII. This is...
Zack is.
Yeah, it's Zack.
Well, okay, that's the other thing that Square has been, let's say, a little cagey about. We still don't definitively know if all of Zack's appearances in the previous games and with supporting media are a flashback or he is actually canonically alive.
I'm very excited to find out and get angry
They're gonna
about
have
it.
to answer that. And again, you don't bring that evil back into this world unless it's yes, he's alive.
Yes, of course he is. So, Brayden, I have some questions for you based on the extended Svets universe. Tell me if this is an actual character's name, or if I'm making up a name for a character who is in Dirge of Cerberus. Okay, Azul the Cerulean.
Yeah, that's a real guy.
Okay,
Vincent
Goki.
Valentine. Yeah, he's real too.
Goki the Olive.
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Nero the Sable.
Yes, I know Nero the Sable.
Okay.
Goku
Vice
is a-
the
is a
Immaculate.
One Piece character.
You're Nero the Sable. Vice the Immaculate? Yeah, that's a real guy.
That's a real guy. You got it. You got it. Grimoire Valentine.
No.
Sorry, that's a real character.
Ugh.
Sorry.
Listen, at some point you just...
Lucrezia Valentine.
Yes. I'm not dumb. I know who
shouldn't say the
Lucrezia is.
No, she's Lucrezia Crescent. I got you.
Oh,
That was a kind of a
look
trick
at
question.
you.
That was a little
Look at
rude
you,
of me.
mister. Yeah,
That was
Ragnar
rude-
the
that was
Blood
rude of me.
Edge.
Yeah,
Jin
right.
Kisaragi. Noel Vermilion. Nine the Phantom. Let's see, who else? Hazama. Valkenhayn.
Gustav Brokenheart.
That's not real.
It's not. It's not. I made that one up.
If he was...
Shalua Rui.
That's dumb enough that yes.
Okay. Yep. That is the one-armed, one-eyed. Man, this design is incredible. I'm gonna put this into chat so people can see what Shalua Rui looks like.
You know, on a scale of...
I think that, like, this backstory with Shalua is she was a character design from 10.2 that did not make the cut for 10.2.
They already had Nuge with his one arm, one leg, and they couldn't do another one.
Yeah.
I cannot say definitively if that was the story, but that saw that on Tumblr from, like, the end of the game.
Yeah, everyone loves Nuge and his weird bodysuit.
You can just stop at everyone loves Nuge.
Yeah, my favorite characters in Final Fantasy. The people who are like, what if...
There was a period from about 2006 to now when Tetsuya Nomura's character design ethos was just allowed to flourish completely unmolested. And I feel like that resulted in Nuge and the 10-2 cast, the characters of Dirge of Cerberus, 13 and 15.
Yes, people like Crisis Core. People...
Yes. The movie. People don't hate the movie.
Yeah, people like Advent Children as like a look how cool this looks in 2005.
Yeah, it's a fan service movie.
There's like 20 minutes of Advent Children
Rad
that are
shit.
very good. Everything else,
The 13 cast looks better if they didn't all exist in the... Yes. If the 13 cast didn't all exist in the same world, they just look like a bunch of different
FF characters.
models.
I mean, yeah. So is this
But yeah,
basically
I
the
don't know.
expansion? No, this is still Doom 3. Regular.
Like, whine and moan and complain about like all of those characters looking dumb. Like that game looks good. That game looks really good. Everything they've
Whatever,
shown.
Lightning's a fine design, and I'm not even ranking based on lesbianism. There's a different definitive expert in our podcast.
We got that archived.
Yeah, we got
I've got that archived. If anyone wants to see the definitive lesbian rankings of Final Fantasy characters. That was a good stream.
Yeah.
Saz having a bird in his hair may be sus. It's his most endearing quality.
I cannot even... That's not something I even want to touch. It's like, what are the...
Oh, you don't...
What are the racial
think that
implications of the one black character having a chocobo in his afro?
You don't think that you're the definitive voice on that one?
No. And also, I don't think anyone else should either. Because there's a lot... I might say this. Final Fantasy 13, I feel like maybe dealing into the racial implications of Saz is one of the least important aspects one could fixate when it comes to that plot. We could talk about how that man just has the same character arc in all three games. Where he's,
literally the same. It's incredible.
Except he's a ghost in two. and 3 or something.
Well, he's more like DLC. You have to
Yeah,
buy
he's a
for it to
DLC in
not be-
2, and in 3, he's just like, ah, my son. Yeah, everyone hates
My
Hope.
son is still petrified, but
Wait,
he's in a different.
He's
but petrified's
DLC,
different.
and then you can use him as a Pokemon if you bought the DLC.
I mean, you can also use Lightning as a Pokemon.
I often use lightning Pokemon.
Yeah. It's a pretty good coverage for that type.
Yeah, it's a good type. Not a lot of weaknesses.
Immunity to paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
Usually pretty fast.
Round hard counters it, but you know, it's only one hard counter, and you can mitigate that. You can do a water electric type, a water lightning type,
Yeah.
and that's mostly what I did in Lightning Returns. All right, I'm going to launch my Wild Frost stream at the same. I'll stay in this chat, but I'm gonna be.
Okay, but let's talk about how
doing that
everyone
too.
in Final Fantasy. Let's just dive into Final Fantasy 16 based entirely on the character designs, because I haven't played that game.
Sarge. Find him. Gotta find
Oh,
him.
he's dead.
I have not played 16.
Got my
Neither
I
have
don't even know what the 16 characters look like.
Clive Rosefield. You know that guy?
No.
He's the main man.
I have not played any 13.
He's
Six-
played by
I intentionally avoided.
beloved
16.
internet memester Ben Starr, who I
don't
think
know
if
who
I
that
ever
is.
play 16, I have to play it in English now, because Ben Starr seems like a fun guy.
Is that some sort of Troy Baker?
No,
He's the 15 actor.
no, he's the 16 actor. He's the guy who
16
plays
actor
Clive.
that did all of those Game of the Year stuff for Giant Bomb.
And also, he was in several memes because he was at the Game Awards. And at one point, the camera focused on him while
it was blaring bright light directly into his face.
yeah.
He was blaring the Gorilla song "Bright Light" directly in
Yeah.
his face. Started with Wild Frost again. Wild Frost.
Wild
card
Frost,
game.
that's not a real card game. That's an expansion
it's a good
pack
one.
for Hearthstone.
No, it's a real different card game, and it's a good one. It's one of the better ones I've played.
Sure, buddy. Sure, Wild Frost. Listen, when Wild Frost. Listen, when Wild Frost is up there on the dance stage, you got to make sure the
dance
patrons
stage.
don't get a little too handsy.
I am waiting for you. Waiting to kill.
All right, I need you to. I'm gonna pick a character. I want to pick them entirely by the sound of their name.
Okay.
So, Braden, you're gonna pick for me.
9 the Phantom.
I've got 9 total names. 9 total names.
Uh-huh.
Mosk, Rustbat, Lockbower, Banerow, Vasoon, Vasdu, and the last 3, Snowdom, Stonam. Nodal, and
Well, yeah,
What did he
this
speak
isn't a Hearthstone expansion, because otherwise that name would be like Raven Dark Wraith.
Yep. Instead, they're kind of delving in the Adventure Time realm. Do any of these names speak to you?
Boss Doom. If you can doom bosses, that seems pretty good.
Vasdu. Okay.
Yeah, Boss Doom.
All right.
Do Voss?
Welcome,
Rammstein.
Vasdu. It's a good album. It's a good song. Let's go, Vasdu. You are a problematic character.
Put points into...
You were not who I would have picked.
Reshuffling.
I'm gonna have to put points into making this character not slow as hell. Because they are very slow.
Shotgun is so bad in this game.
Is the game overall good, though?
I think this game is extremely playable.
Extremely playable. Is a video game.
I've played significantly worse first-person shooters, raves Arbitrary Water of Twitch.tv.
Man famous for playing that game says, this is one. This isn't
This is
one.
not one. Yeah. They're worse. I've played worse.
What is your favorite Dirge of Cerberus character, and is it Vincent Valentine?
No, it has to be,
Weiss.
No, it's every
Angeal.
time, Reeve disguises himself as a robot.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
Every time he's Kate Sith?
Yeah, every time he's Kate Sith, or sometimes just a robot of Reeve.
Oh, right, when they have the weird Scottish accent.
They have and also, it's like, it's abundantly clear that he's just doing a voice.
When, like, the cat is
forgot about when
literally
he's
out
robot
of the
Reeve.
bag, and everyone already knows.
Yeah,
that
everyone
he's
knows
a
it's
fucking
Reeve,
dude.
but he still does the voice. And I think that's delightful. Dirge of Cerberus seems like a bad game.
Sure is. It has a very, very fun
There have
ending.
been better games.
It has a very fun ending. It has maybe one of the most fun endings, unironically, of the post
Of that.
10 era.
Yeah.
Genuinely a great ending. And by that, spoilers, the game becomes a rail shooter.
It does.
It becomes Panzer Dragoon.
It's yeah. That is the coolest part of that game.
But yeah, no, having watched people play that game, it just seems like something that would eventually make me mad.
Oh, it sure is.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like, it's not funny bad enough. It's just like,
I mean,
hey, guess what? Japanese companies didn't know how to make shooters.
right. And the weird thing is like with something like Crisis Core, we're probably gonna have to play the remaster, but like Crisis Core makes a lot more sense when it had the weird slot machine bullshit and like and it was in the guise of like a portable game, and the ways that they've made it to not be a portable game are that you have to do it.
At the very least, it has less Monster Hunter-itis than Type 0 does.
Yeah, it's not a Mon Hunt.
The weird thing is like the story of Type 0, like the character stuff in Type 0
It's
is genuinely
bonkers.
interesting. If heavy-handed, sure, but like,
Yeah, hey, we brainwashed all of these child soldiers to fight wars for us.
war crimes.
Do war crimes for us, rated them for mature. Also, they can't remember the names of the dead. Because we brainwashed that out of them, too.
With magic brainwashing,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, we used Magitech to brainwash these children, and now they kill for us.
Yeah,
That's just FF8 and also Xenoblade 3, yes. And it's a good trope. I like it when
I very much...
my anime child soldier shit acknowledges how fucked up it is to make the animes child soldiers.
The stuff that they do in Opera Omnia.
You've got a limited amount of time to still enjoy that.
Yeah, to fill in the gaps there is genuinely good. Braden, are you aware of what
does Opera Omnia do?
So Opera Omnia, it takes place in the Dissidia universe. So it's basically Dissidia's story is that there's this other universe where all of the Final Fantasy characters can go, and there's supposed to be a place of rest, where these Final Fantasy characters can take a break from whatever their stories-related stuff is going on. However, all of the dead characters are still dead.
And they know they're dead.
They're dead in the real world. They know they're dead in the real world. Or they find out, they remember that they're dead. They start out with their memories somewhat missing, and then they get their memories back. And some of the characters that are dead are like, oh, I don't have anywhere to go back to. Uh-oh. And so they start having existential dread about it. So, all of the Type 0 characters, because all of the Type 0 characters are dead, at the end of that game, spoilers, all of them are like, hey, maybe we should stay here forever. Like, a bunch of the other characters are trying to get home to their respective games. But all the Type 0 characters are like, we need to never find a way to leave, because we can't leave. Don't leave us. Which I think is, that's some good pathos.
Yeah.
Like, Ace remembers he's dead and doesn't like it.
Fair.
The problem is...
Also, it's very funny that his name is Ace.
Yeah, like another...
Well, they're all named
very
after
key.
numbers.
Anyways, the problem
That they are.
with Type 0 is we have to play Type 0.
Yep.
A game that gave me
Problem with
actual
Type 0 is
motion
playing
sickness.
Type 0.
Final Fantasy
Yeah.
Type 0.
And then, like, it's such a weird game. Like, the tactics part of that game sucks shit. The actual, like, taking the
I forgot
armies
that
and
there's a
moving them
tactics
around.
part.
I forgot that
The
there
army
was
commanding
like
bullshit
a conquest
just
thing.
sucks. That part of the game sucks. It's like the worst.
I
like,
hate that you reminded me that there's a tactics part of that game.
it's the worst part. Like, I get to that part of the game, and it's like, basically, if you don't know what to do within, like, 5 minutes, you're just fucked.
At least it's not tied in with the 13 games anymore. Remember
That's
when it was
true.
Agito 13?
Hey, as we talked about last time, all three of us were together. That man is going to make
Yeah, Nomura's
Final
gonna make
Fantasy
Versus
Versus.
13.
He's gonna make Versus 13 come hell or high water, and you know what? God bless him. I wish him the best.
Yes, he's going to make Versus 13 in Kingdom Hearts 4, and no one will stop him.
Yes. No one can.
After being told no,
After being told no, you need to
console
finish this
generations.
project.
He was told no for damn near like 15 years, and
Well,
now
they
just
took
gonna
away his baby because they needed to finish it. They needed to finish the video game, which is why 15 is the way it is.
But also, just
Yep.
just incredible. Fucking incredible. I love it.
It's weird because on the other hand, when Nomura, basically left 15 to work on the 7 remake, that thing got made in a relatively reasonable amount of time. Oh. That's silly. That's just a tank. Oh, I got a BFG. See, that's how you know I'm near the end of the game.
Tetsuya Nomura, just being unstoppable. Just refusing to stop designing the same 3 games that he's been trying to make for 20 years.
Motomo Toriyama. It's once again, it's not that Square Enix lacks talented developers.
They're like one of the, other than maybe like Atlas and a handful of other examples, like they've been able to keep a core team of very talented people together. Like it's Atlas, it's them, it's Nintendo, and then they continue to be run very poorly.
And then yeah, it's just the management side of things. I love that they continue to double down on NFTs.
Oh, it's not only doubling down on NFTs, like the CEO has announced that 2024 is where they're going to make a huge push on AI.
Of course.
Oh, thank goodness.
Because, the last time they made a push on AI, they did that Portopia game, which was a travesty.
Yeah, that Portopia thing.
That I shared with the world multiple times. True travesty.
Find the hell portal.
I mean, it seems like a lot of the stuff that's coming out of Square Enix currently reads like a person in a boardroom who hasn't had to talk to a actual human in a good long while.
It's just like
like saying whatever the buzzword is of the minute.
They let Yoshida. They let Yoshida make the FF14, and that does well enough.
But, hasn't the word on the street been that, 14's kind of in a bit of a rut, like, the game is stagnating?
I have no idea. Ask M. Because everyone sure does seem excited for another FF14 expansion, which is not what I could have said about WoW.
That's true. People seem to still care about that game in a way that I was not fully prepared for.
People still like FF14.
They do.
Yeah, but
I think it's just fine.
it's an MMO with
it's an MMO.
decent writing.
That's the thing that confuses me.
Some people just want to do the same thing for
here's the actual thing.
300 hours.
I feel like this is the
Some
real
people just want to
problem
play
with
deck
14.
building roguelites for 300 hours.
Gino, Here's
But I
the
play
reason
different
why
ones.
They play
I'm
different
concerned about
classes.
14.
They have alt characters.
If we did finally cover 14, what we would have to do is basically that's the pick for an entire year, and we view base game in January, and then each month after that is like a progress report. And then at the end of the year is when we finally say, are we going to keep playing or not? But that would be the only Final Fantasy thing that we cover for an entire year, because that's the only way I feel like you can cover an MMO and not feel like a bunch of like, you know, weird outsiders looking in, making snap judgments and like blanket statements that are not true. And then there's so much to that game. Like, how are we going to do anything, any coverage of 14, and like maybe some of us don't even get into like the weird expansion packs that people actually like.
Oh, you mean the award-winning Heavensward expansion?
Yeah, like that's the actual thing.
And also, just a reminder, that free trial now goes through Stormblood too. Like, you can play a lot of that game and not pay for it.
Like, as I say, like, good on them. Like, clearly they are doing something in that game that just keeps enough people going.
It's more than enough people. They had better numbers than WoW for a while. Yeah, I don't know. I never got out of A Realm Reborn because it was the pandemic, and my ability to focus on any one thing was worse than it already is.
Let's go ahead and let me pull the MMO stats. Oh, this website has Baldur's Gate 3.
My real question is how many people still playing Lineage 2? You know, the real shit. How many people in Greater Siberia have been stabbed because of Lineage 2 beef?
Alright, so, like, it seems like, oddly enough, that World of Warcraft has a bit of an edge this last month over Final Fantasy XIV because they released an actual expansion pack, whereas Final Fantasy XIV is easing into their next expansion pack. Yeah, and then like the actual MMO, like the actual most widely played MMORPG, like whether you want to call it an MMO or not, is it's Minecraft. Like every single one of these, like I'm looking at 3 websites that track user base. I'm even looking at Steam. It's Minecraft.
I don't want to.
I don't count Minecraft as an MMO. Minecraft is. It's a fun Lego.
Okay, then old school RuneScape actually outdid Final Fantasy XIV last year.
Sure, that's free. And
is Genshin an MMO?
Kinda, but not really. I'm speaking in terms of like traditional ass MMOs.
I would call Path of Exile an MMO.
You would.
Dude, like, that game actually has as many updates and, like, a thriving online community it is basically an MMO.
Do you see other people when you are wandering around? And, you know, at the end of the day, this is all because, all games as a service, basically.
Here's what I would ask both of you. You don't think Minecraft is an MMO? Would you consider Roblox more or less of an MMO?
I mean, Roblox does not have a subscription. Roblox is like Minecraft, a tool set for kids to
be exploited by tech. Yeah.
Boy, if you think this is exploitative, let me tell you about Legos.
No, because Legos are fucking dope.
You buy Legos all the time.
Yeah, but no, Legos are like you buy and you create, and like yes, they've been like priced unfairly at times.
Legos are a premium product for, and yeah.
But
they're one of
Roblox
the main pillars of the
literally,
Danish
like,
economy.
its entire economy is based off of unpaid child labor. And the children are not being educated or given the tools to even make a modicum of the riches that
They get a 20% cut. It is a 20-80 split for Roblox stuff.
They're
Which
having a
is
good time.
Highway robbery. You're robbing these children of their future. Except when, you know, they grow up and go on to make Lethal Company.
Yeah.
Which,
Except when they grow up to make Lethal Company.
yeah. And I turned to dust because I am 10 years older than the person who made Lethal Company. And I have not made a beloved multiplayer goof 'em up sim by myself. I just wrote blogs that a couple dozen people read. Hello, welcome to When Commies Talk About Roblox. No, Roblox is weird and gross. And also, the other thing about Roblox is that all of it looks like shit. Say what you will about Fortnite. A corporate item, a corporate mechanism. But Fortnite looks good, and it plays pretty well. What would a survival horror game made by me look like? Oh god. It looked like a PS1 game, because that is the style.
Yep.
Millennia ago, and were placed in a holy burial ground in some
As you are wont to do.
Yeah, it will look like a PS1 game. It will have pre-rendered backgrounds. It will take place. Okay, this is the twist. It's also an isekai.
Oh shit!
So you're in a haunted fantasy world. There you go. If anyone, and it's called Dark Knight, K-N-I-G-H-T.
Are you sure?
Oh, the Dark Knight?
Yeah. No, the dark is spelled with an E.
Just like in the
So it's
carvings of the
legally
mythology.
distinct.
If I'm correct, that cube is our only chance to stop this.
Batman's the Dark
No
Knight.
time to explain now. You need to get to the caverns quickly.
And,
Take my
yeah,
key
you're
here.
being chased by a creepy, ghost, that has, big ol' heavy armor. There. I just came up with that.
I can't believe it that you just came up with that.
Alright, it's Alone in the Dark.
Okay, so my game is called Alone in the Dank.
Uh-huh. It's a parody of Alone in the Dark. In which,
Yep. It's a stoner parody of Alone in the Dark. It stars Seth Rogen. We got him.
Seth Rogen is Edward Carnby.
Just nodding my head.
Going,
Yes. Yes. It starts off with him and some buddies sitting around a big old pile of weed, and then one of their friends comes up and says, "Hey, I heard about this new strain that I've brought. We should smoke it." And then they're like,
It's a haunted.
"Yeah, let's."
It's a haunted strain of weed.
Yes, the weed is. It
The weed
turns
is
out
haunted.
it was grown on an Indian burial ground.
Final. I
This
mean,
weed.
to be fair, most weed in the United States is grown on an Indian burial ground. Heyo.
True, but this one's like extra creepy.
Yeah.
This one's extra. And yeah, they're getting chased by figures that are shadowy figures. There's a lot of smoke in this world. They wake up after passing out from so much weed. They conk out and then they wake up, and it's the same house they were in, but there's smoke everywhere.
And also, it's like,
And,
hey guys, why are there so many weird puzzles?
Why are the Muppets now in a weed journey?
No, that's my Seth Rogen impression.
Oh,
It's very good.
I thought it was a Muppet.
No, my Muppet impression is like, oh, hey, how's it going? That's generic Muppet. And then my Kermit the Frog is like, hey, it's me, Kermit the Frog. I'm doing more of a, like when Jim Henson did the voice, so it's a little more, it's a little more mild, and we're smoking some dank weed here.
no, I really do.
That's the thing. Like, Jim Henson took drugs.
Oh, 1000%.
Of course. Yes, I think the Muppet Man did drugs. Yes.
I think that I think someone who was in Hollywood and New York in the 1960s and 70s did drugs.
Yes. Want to blow my mind anymore, Grandpa?
I think the man who made Labyrinth and Dark Crystal may have taken drugs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You sure?
What kind of magic spell to use? Slime, ants, snails, puppy dog tails, thunder and lightning. But baby said, that's magic. Yeah. Tell me maybe David Bowie did some drugs.
Also was on drugs.
Did drugs.
R.I.P. David Bowie.
Yeah, Dark Star is actually a very good album.
Was that his last album?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was.
The I Know I'm
Fittingly.
Dying from Cancer album?
Yes. It turns out that was the last album.
Yeah. I genuinely... Like, it's not even like a funny goof thing. It's like, actually, I like David Bowie. Shocker.
Of course. Who doesn't?
But also, he's great in Labyrinth because he's a weird creep.
Yes.
Remember when he was
really
Nikola Tesla in that magician
In the
movie?
Prestige? Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
He was?
Yeah, he's Nikola Tesla
That's
in
a
the
good
Prestige.
casting. That's really good casting.
It is.
That's
And
also
you know that existed. That casting was made entirely because Nolan wanted to hang out with David Bowie.
As he should. As everyone should.
And then David Bowie's son made the Warcraft movie.
He did?
Yeah, Duncan Jones.
Oh, wow.
He repeatedly said that he was estranged even with his father, even when he was dying of cancer.
Yeah, but I don't know that, but it would not surprise me.
Cavern's entrance locked. Freight loader returning to station.
Yeah. At some point, I'm gonna end up watching that Warcraft movie, huh?
What the hell?
That seems like something that will happen.
Oh, I know why that happened. Damn it. Oh, my run's done.
So
Hey,
thanks
Duncan
for
Jones
tuning
made
in to
great movies.
Gino's stream. We'll see you next
Don't
time.
get me wrong, Moon and Source Code, both solid-ass movies. No real major complaints other than, Kevin Spacey. I don't like hearing his voice, but whatever. That's beyond the point. Yeah, those are both good movies. Moon is great. Source Code is pretty good. Because I just like time loop bullshit, and that's what Source Code is. But,
You know what I watched?
What?
You know what I watched yesterday, and
What
it's
did you
not
watch
time loop
yesterday?
bullshit. I watched John Wick 3, the third John Wick. Jonathan Wick.
Recently.
Yeah.
That movie's good.
Too much dog dick biting.
They do make sure that the dogs always bite the dick.
Eat all the dicks.
That's
It's
no.
not. I will say though that I popped in just to quickly say, I think Moon is the one and only film that is unfortunately improved by Kevin Spacey being a complete piece of shit. Because that entire movie is the AI good or bad? And you think it's bad as a result of it being Kevin Spacey.
Well, it's Kevin Spacey, so clearly it's got to be bad.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going through a flesh hole.
Not again.
I'm nodding my head. Yeah.
You ever been in a flesh hole?
Can't believe Arby's gone in the flesh hole again.
I think
Hey,
that's my
ladies.
gimmick.
Yeah. No, my entirely non-infringing gimmick, the JRPG void.
I mean, that's the stream where that's this stream where you play anything but.
The JRPG void is yeah. Please look forward to
Where I play Doom 3 again and again.
No, please look forward to me playing Tales of Grace's F for 2 hours. I mean, like, this is not a good stream game because it's not like the characters are very interesting. And,
So sorry, finish.
And the combat of Grace's F is very good, but watching it, it's just a cacophonous mess because it's a Tales game.
Sounds like it's not cacophonous
Yeah.
enough.
I mean, characters are constantly yelling anime moves.
Yeah.
I'm
they are.
also Braden. I just reminded myself that the Warcraft movie is the one that apparently is the one that just got completely saved because China.
Oh yeah, no, the only reason that movie made any money was because it was huge in China. No one in the US gave a shit.
I'll watch it at some point.
Oh yeah,
I forgot that it came out.
1000%. Because he spent like 6 years making that movie. And he has not made anything of note since, I don't think.
Broken.
Because it broke him.
Duncan Jones. No, he made a Netflix movie. I don't think did especially
Everyone's
well.
made a Netflix movie.
He made Mute. It was called
Netflix
Mute.
gave me money to make a movie.
No, they didn't. They have standards.
Are you sure?
If
How would you
Netflix
know?
gave you money to make a movie, what would it be?
Okay,
The
it's
weird thing about Mute, Braden, is that it is a follow-up / sequel in quotations to Moon.
Oh.
Now I have to watch that. Does Sam Rockwell appear in it?
No. Yes. But no. Yes?
Okay.
You don't want to spoil Moon.
No. Like, I say it's a sequel in quotations because it basically has the same cast. Like, it's a follow-up. It's a spiritual successor.
Oh, it's like
Okay.
Split.
It's like BioShock.
Split.
Spoilers for BioShock?
No.
Oh, you're near the end of this game.
Yeah.
So, I don't hate Split.
Yeah.
James
fine.
McAvoy's having fun.
I don't hate Split. It's
It was, you know what? It's one of the better movies Shyamalan has made in years.
yeah. It's Glass that I actually think is bad.
I couldn't bring myself to watch it. I heard too much bad stuff.
I mean, it's no beach that makes you old.
That's
Hey,
Oh,
man.
Right.
Yeah, old.
Yeah, and you explaining the plot of that to me, just like, yeah, okay, that's very stupid.
I like the evil grandparents movie.
Yeah, The
with,
Visit?
The Visit. Because
What?
that game is just, or not that game. That movie is just mean-spirited.
It hates old people.
What is...
Okay, so
What?
this was when Shyamalan was like personally financing movies because he wanted to still make movies, but no one in Hollywood would give him money.
Okay.
And The Visit is about two kids who go to visit their grandparents, only their grandparents are kind of weird. They're kind of off.
No.
And they've never met their grandparents before. Was Shyamalan ever actually good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
yes.
Actually, yes.
Yeah,
Like-
he has a few good movies.
The man's stylistic excess was apparent even early on, but he didn't
Knock
get
at
up
the
his own
Cabin was
ass
actually
until
good.
like The Village.
Knock at the Cabin was good.
I rewatched Unbreakable for the first time in like 15 years earlier this year, and even knowing the thing at the end of that movie, it's still a good movie.
I also kind of like Science.
Science
Sure.
is fine. People like give the twist of that movie too much shit, but as like a post 9/11, we are terrified of everything around us.
To go back to The Visit, so the premise is that these kids just start to realize that their grandparents are starting to be a little weird, and you find out that their grandparents are not their grandparents. They're actually
Old people who
have
escaped an
murdered
insane asylum.
They're old people with dementia and are insane that have already murdered their real grandparents, and now they're stuck in this house with these crazy people that want to kill them unless they go along with their charade.
Because they want to play at being grandparents.
That's actually that's a cool idea.
It's very and it's very intentionally silly. Like it's very.
There is also a torture scene which is tough to get through, but man,
There's a scene involving a dirty diaper.
Yeah, being slapped across a child's face by one of the crazy old people.
The crazy old man slaps that boy with a dirty diaper.
And let's say that diaper is full.
Yeah.
So you said this movie isn't good?
No, it's great.
It's great. It's actually
like,
good because the premise
it's
actually is
very
interesting.
intentionally like pulpy. Like it knows what it is.
Okay.
Which is more, I have not seen Lady in the Water. ZP, have you seen Lady in the Water?
Yes.
I've seen Lady in the Water.
Where Shyamalan plays the chosen one. And there's a character who is a movie critic.
Yes.
And dies horribly. Because he's overanalyzing the story.
Sounds like he deserves it.
Yeah, it sounds like he deserves it for being a movie critic.
But anyways, no, like
In the
probably
same way the Roland
Waters.
Emmerich Godzilla movie has characters who are
That's
clearly
on-
Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah. Which, like, good on Siskel and Ebert in saying, like, if you're gonna have us be in your movie, saying that you don't like us, you should have just had Godzilla step on us for goodness sake, go all the way.
Or they get killed by people or something?
No, their helicopter
just-
blows up.
No,
Yeah.
that's boring.
Like,
I liked it. I liked that they had a critique, and it was like, you actually should have killed us better in your movie.
That's the best way to respond to that. I don't even like
thumbs
those two.
down.
That's a good response.
You should have stepped on me, Daddy. 2 thumbs down.
Mm-mm.
They make a thumbs down joke. Don't worry.
Oh, good.
Because
I was worried, so thank you for
I
clearing that up.
remember, like, George Lucas absolutely hated Pauline Kael, so that's the reason why there's a very evil villain in Willow called General Kael.
that does not surprise me.
And then Pauline Kael's like, wow, incredible. George Lucas actually wrote a character that's interesting to follow for once.
Yeah, that
Owned.
Yeah, it seems
That's
like a
deserved.
fight you don't ever want to get into. And they bring it upon themselves.
Independence Day works in the context of 1995. I don't know if I would call it good, though.
Is that an M. Night Shyamalan?
No, that is a
No,
Roland
we're talking
Emmerich
about Roland
film.
Emmerich.
No, I like Independence Day.
It's fine. It's dumb.
Yeah.
He says, "Welcome to Earth," and then punches the alien.
But you just said that you appreciated, like, intentional...
Yeah, no. And to be clear, Independence Day is a good time. It's not a good movie, but it's a good time. Day After Tomorrow's terrible. I never saw
did
2012.
Wild West?
I did not see Moonfall either. Alas, or the who actually wrote Shakespeare movie that he did.
Well, that was when he was trying to like do
Serious.
deeper movies to show that he could actually do it.
And,
Didn't he also make that really bad Three Musketeers movie?
I believe he did. No, that was Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh.
Wait, did he do the original Stargate?
He did. He did the Stargate movie.
Yeah,
not
that's a
SG-1.
good movie.
But the movie that SG-1...
Although I will say the worst, just some of the worst/best miscasting I've ever seen in a movie is French Stewart as one of the tough Marines in Stargate.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
It's a good movie, but
That is not a pair of... When you tell me tough Marine and French Stewart...
Yeah, you think that squinting face.
Yeah, I think of that bit in Community where French Stewart plays a French Stewart
And makes
impersonator.
the face and the voices. You just think of Third Rock.
He threatens to break Abed's legs.
You just think of a man wearing a turkey as a hat.
Yeah.
Third Rock was good. It's very silly.
Third Rock from the Sun?
Yeah.
Service lift called to station.
Yeah, I have not. That is not a show I've thought about.
John Lithgow is a wonderful hand.
Are you telling me John Lithgow,
He is.
beloved stage and television actor John Lithgow,
No, he's such a good villain too. Whenever he's a villain.
having fun? Okay, but what if he was
I once
Dexter's
had a dream that I wrote a show starring John Lithgow. I don't remember what happened in the show though.
Here's my pitch for a show
The
involving John
TV sequel to Harry and the Hendersons.
Finally,
What we've always wanted.
Service lift called to station.
Arby and the Andersons.
Remember when John Lithgow tried to make albums and was singing?
No.
Yeah.
Please
look
tell
that
me
up.
more.
Go on.
Let me subscribe to your newsletter, please.
He made one where he was basically a musical called The Sunny Side of the Street, and his performance of the old-timey classic Inka Dinka Doo.
Uh-huh.
It's called Singing in the Bathtub. I think he made an album.
Yep.
Listen, Joe Pesci made a rap album.
He made a song called The New Song, GNU. Be back in a second. I need to listen to this.
I'll post it in Braden's chat. Inka Dinka Doo. He made music for kids.
That's great. John
Yeah.
Lithgow's never done anything wrong. Please don't tell me if he has.
Yeah, please. Listen, I assume as a baseline that every Hollywood celebrity is either openly or secretly a bad person, except Keanu and I don't know, maybe Greg Kinnear. No, Greg Kinnear was in that Heaven is Real movie. Never mind.
I got through about 20 seconds of it. It's kind of silly.
I'm really glad John Lithgow exists.
He had a very brief cameo in 30 Rock, which I really like. It's just him getting lost in the building and screaming.
Also, speaking speaking of like television shows, 30 Rock, very good.
Yeah.
The episode of 30 Rock, where a pre-comeback Michael Keaton is there as the janitor who's one day away from retirement. And in order to make the show funny, they have to make a gas leak happen, and he keeps fixing it.
Yeah. I really think that the final episode of 30 Rock is genuinely actually
It's a good way to wrap that up.
Series finales. Like it's actually very good.
What's the worst finale you can think of to a good show?
I don't think How I Met Your Mother is an especially great show, but
that's a good one.
The way people have spoken to me about the ending of that show.
You know what they did at the finale of the Dick Van Dyke Show? One of the classic sitcoms of all time? It's literally just a clip show.
Oh, fucking Dexter.
Oh.
Every single attempt to end Dexter.
And then they brought it back to end it poorly again.
Yeah, fuck that. Until the movies, I thought that the ending for the X-Files was poor.
Oh, you read the season 9 ending, right?
Yeah, that's not a...
Yeah, I mean, it's a big cliffhanger. It's just the two of them on the bed and going like, huh. And in that second movie, ugh.
It's real bad.
It's like it's like Star Trek Insurrection. It's like, what if we spun out a middling episode of
X-Files? What if we made a middling episode of the TV show into a 2-hour movie?
Fight the future, though.
I think that I've gone back and forth how I feel about the ending of Quantum Leap.
No, him going into
Dr. Sam Beckett never returned home. Credits. It's like, fucking what?
Remember, they did make a new Quantum Leap, right?
Yeah, there is a new Quantum Leap.
He returned to his home planet?
No, it's a new version.
It's a reboot.
But
listen,
yeah,
Bakula's a little busy right now. He's on a show, a little show called CSI.
Is he?
Yeah, he's
in one of the CSIs. Yes.
No, he's NCIS.
Oh
no,
wait,
he did NCIS before he did CSI.
Okay, I was gonna say, I know he was in an NCIS, and then that was canceled because it was just him doing his worst New Orleans impression. Still out him saying, "Brother."
He is on one of them's.
My brother. God, I watched the pilot to that, cause.
You know, why wouldn't you?
Because you're like, I love Captain Archer.
I mean, he might. Look, I have some. I'm not a huge Voyager fan, but
I am.
I'm not a huge Voyager fan, but like, Captain Archer might actually be the worst captain, and it's not even a contest. Like the ending of the final episode of Enterprise is so fucking awful.
It's more disappointing than awful. It's more just like, yeah, I guess if you guys had gotten to do this for like 5 more years.
That they kill a character in the least satisfying and if not downright exploitative manner, and then on top of that, like, it's not even about the characters of the series. It's about relying on these legacy characters from other shows. Like, just not good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's them going like, oh, if we had gotten to do this for like another 5 years, think of what these characters could have gone through in that interim period.
Here's
and you're like, yeah, but they
from
didn't.
The show you like. Please watch this.
I actually do like some of the Enterprise crew. I like what they did with Reed, with him just becoming like increasingly paranoid and shitty.
It's the post 9/11.
Remember they had 2 characters of that main cast that got almost nothing in the entire show? Travis gets a single episode, and I don't even remember her name, but the linguist gets 2. 4 seasons. Just a lot of what's his face and what's her face making goo guys at each other in the worst chemistry.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not gonna go out of my way to. All I need is drunken Matthew Rory singing the opening song to that show.
There's one episode that's worth watching, Enterprise. There's a number of decent ones, but Dear Doctor in the first season, I think it's episode like 13 or something.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's the best at Trek. It's
I think that the biggest problem, there's a lot of problems. One of the things that frustrates me about Enterprise is I think about all the interesting story arcs that they just completely don't make good on. Like, hey, Enterprise is going to be the series that actually is committed to having multiple episodes set in the Mirror Mirror universe. And then, like, that entire story arc feels like it doesn't get off the runway.
Actually, you know what? The other good thing about Star Trek Enterprise is they finally actually acknowledge the Klingon visual change. They make a reason for it.
Yeah.
It's decent. It's not great, but it's funny.
Not a great reason, but, like, hey, you know, Star Trek fans want answers to everything.
Well, I think it also does an okay job at further explaining why the Klingons hate the Federation so much. It's like, yeah, you kidnapped a bunch of our people.
Yeah, but then that just ends up leading to, like, the temporal Cold War, which is just confusing and bad.
Yep, like all of season 4.
I don't trust anyone. I mean, the fact that people seem to like Picard season 3 because it's just a TNG reunion show.
Yeah, but then you'd have to watch seasons 1 and 2 to know what the fuck is happening.
No, you don't. It has nothing to do with those first 2 seasons, apparently.
Oh.
And they kill off all the new characters.
Oh, okay. I might watch that.
Good. Let them die. I don't know anything about Star Trek.
Yeah, that last season of
good.
Picard. That last season of Picard is actually good.
Just, you know, watch TNG if you want, like, some fun, good television sci-fi, and then, you know,
I mean,
if you like
that was
more,
the whole.
watch more.
That's kind of like the weird thing about the most recent season of Picard is they still don't want to talk about the fact that they made Picard an android, but it's a very loving tribute to, like, TNG.
And also, it seems like they give those characters, like, an actual better send-off than
actually
Nemesis.
Yeah, I'd see the early seasons of Voyager are good.
Anyway, I'm just gonna get way into Farscape.
I'm sorry.
Why?
Because
You're gonna have a good
Someone
first
has
season,
to.
and then you're gonna have a lot more Farscape.
yeah, hey, that's all science sci-fi TV shows of the 90s.
Some of them.
And then there's Lex, which is
Actual nightmare stuff.
a television show that every time I see an episode, because another Discord I'm on has been going through that show slowly. And it's great because Lex is a show not made for people.
Get really into
That's a good
Babylon
sell.
5.
People love fucking
Morbius.
Babylon 5.
Never seen it.
I bet it's great. I don't know.
That'd be nice. Is that the one that was like not DS9 but basically DS9?
Yeah.
Or is that another one?
Yeah, it's the one that was around the same time around DS9. No, Lex is a show where it is a German-Canadian co-production.
Yeah.
So it's all the fun of low-budget sci-fi TV, but with the part where it's also extremely horny and European.
Sehr gut.
Oh.
There's a lady character whose name is Zev.
I believe you've posted screenshots of
And she's a very pretty lady who her whole thing is she's very horny and wants to have sex all the time, but the only 2 men she hangs out with, who are the other 2 protagonists of the show, are Stanley Tweedle, who is the most incel man. just the worst human. And then the other guy is he's Kai, last of the Brunin G, and he's undead and doesn't have feelings. Also, the last season of that show apparently takes place on modern day Earth because they ran out of budget.
Great.
I
feel like I've watched it. Now I don't need to.
You should watch at least watch the first season of Lex, which is just a couple. It's 4 2-hour episodes, I think.
Babylon 5 is about slowly encroaching fascism, says WWK. I think I'm gonna skip it. I'm not in the place for that at the moment.
Lex is very Canadian. Also, it's just no one in that show has an American accent. They either have a German accent or a very Canadian accent.
Cool.
It's to be clear, it's not a show I would classify as good, but it's fascinating.
Miss that era of science fiction where, and I feel like you can only really get this on the BBC and European science fiction these days. That era where sci-fi had high concepts and none of the budget.
Yes, it's very high concept. It's very horny, and because it's late night Canadian TV, they can have breasts.
Because you can't find those anywhere.
Can't in the U.S. at that time unless you have HBO.
It's what a shame that we're still in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, NYPD Blue had to ruin it for the rest of the.
Yeah.
NYPD Blue Balls, am I right? Is that a thing?
If I remember correctly, NYPD Blue is like one of the first shows on cable television on
showed
like, basic cable that had naked bits, and it was a huge scandal.
Okay. That doesn't sound like NYPD Blue's fault. It just sounds like some assholes.
Basically, the original ruling for network television was, as long as you say TVMA, sure, you can show titties. And they were like, well, fucking sign me the fuck up. Our ratings are sagging. Let's go ahead. Let's do it. Boobs.
I mean, you used to be able to have boobs in PG stuff, but admittedly that's before the ratings became more.
Yeah, but, listen. When you consider that NYPD Blue is by the man who made Cop Rock, I think it all makes sense.
God, Cop Rock is so fucking good.
Cop Rock is great because, like Lex, every single episode, it does something that you don't expect, and it is the worst thing you've ever seen. Remember that Baby Merchant song?
Yes,
Baby
I remember
Merchant,
the Baby Merchant.
Tots for us.
Tots are us.
Remember
Right, Tots are us.
Remember how the entire season plot line is about tackling the subject of race in America through song and dance?
Yeah. So I'm just thinking about the Baby Merchant guy, and he's so into the song the entire time, doing like all his head movements and stuff. Oh.
And
it's good to just listen to, but watching it is.
Watching it was good as a collective experience. I would not want to watch Cop Rock alone.
No.
Cop Rock is something you watch with other people.
Follow
it's
that
like
up with
The
a bunch
Room.
of raunchy teen comedies.
Baby Merchant, tots are us. Yeah.
I get you all the product and no damn fuss. I think that's
yes.
Cause the lady is addicted to drugs, and so she wants to sell her baby.
And he's just saying it to these two people who are just looking at him completely nonplussed.
Yep.
It's
well,
perfection.
because they want a baby.
Yeah, I know. It's just.
Yeah.
Things used to be good,
They were like,
and then they got bad.
The plot line around the mayor is that she's ugly, and then she gets plastic surgery and is hot.
Whoa.
My favorite actual thing, the thing that sticks out to me about Cop Rock is when the show realizes that they are not getting renewed, that final episode of Cop Rocks where they are in on the meta and realize
They do a song about how they got canceled.
And
Really?
they literally have a
Yes.
fat lady get, like, craned in, and
To sing.
the metaphor being the fat lady is indeed singing goodbye.
Yes, the last episode of Cop Rock is them making a song about how they got canceled.
Not since Excel Saga.
Oh, Excel Saga is real good.
Except for
It
the
is.
fact that it ruined its female voice actor's voice for, like, years.
In English and Japanese.
They're both excellent.
Yeah.
You had to, like, not voice things for, like, a year.
Because Excel just is constantly screaming.
Yeah.
But I do think it's funny that, yes, that happened also for the American voice actress. Because
They both
replaced
went
her
for it.
halfway through the dub. Listen, I think a lot about the last episode of Excel Saga.
Mm-hmm.
Very
And
good.
how that
I don't
thing
know
is
what that
just
show is.
attempting to push the envelope in
It has
in
a bunch
very
of nudity in it.
yeah. There's nudity.
A bunch of death.
I'm actually a G cup. Yeah,
The-
I know.
Yes, the pedophile then going like, "Oh no, you're not a child. No, thank you."
Yep. Yeah.
And then the world drowning in blood.
And then Hyatt dies again in her and just bleeds so much that the entire Earth is drowned in her blood. It's great.
What?
Excel Saga is really great.
Excel Saga is
Basically, every episode is a parody of another thing.
Yeah, every episode is a parody of a different trope or anime.
There's a good Fist of the North Star one deep in there.
And there is an extended goof about how the mangaka is being forced at gunpoint to sign his approval for them to do whatever they want with his
Oh,
manga.
yeah. The Excel
Is this-
Saga
is this-
manga is completely different, but
Yes.
yes.
Is this
the
one of
anime
those animes? Is this one of those animes that are about anime more than anything else?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
The
But also,
story's a
she goes
vehicle
to
for the
United
jokes.
States in one episode, and
It's really
the
good.
way they handle that in both the English dub and the original Japanese is very funny.
What do they do now?
She goes to the United States, and the way they have her talk to the Americans in English.
It's worth watching. It's one of those single season anime. In and out.
Yeah, 26 episodes. That's all you need.
And like I said, each of them has a gimmick.
Yeah, and they're all just taking the piss out of.
Pedro's story. What a
Pedro!
saga.
Yep, the saga of
Of
poor
this
immigrant
completely
worker named
unnecessary
Pedro.
character who actually is the shonen hero to the story that you don't really get to see. It's great. That man.
Yes.
That man over there. This man over here. This man over
it's
there.
That man.
So, Braden, this is something that only you and I will get. Because we had our talk about Code Geass,
Yes.
I watched the trailer to that new show that's coming out,
Uh-huh.
and lo and behold, YouTube knows me a little too well. The legendary Suzaku soup video was in my recommendations.
From like 15 years ago.
15 fucking years ago.
Suzuku Soup?
That is like a prehistoric internet meme.
Okay.
I'm at the soup store.
Fuck Suzuku.
Yeah, no, Suzaku. Once again,
he's a trash boy. But this is It was
One of
a
the worst
video
people ever.
series from like one of those like abridged series, proto abridged series, where they're basically Suzaku is a dipshit.
like in the show Code Geass, Suzaku is a garbage idiot. But yes, I'm at the soup store.
I'm at the soup store. What are you doing at the soup store?
I'm buying
Trying to
soup!
buy clothes. Why are you buying clothes in the soup store?
It was very funny in 2007.
This sounds like yes. This sounds like 2007.
Anyway, I like throwing out the cube and getting all my health back.
What if I told you that on the highest difficulty they give you the soul cube at the very beginning of the game, but your health is constantly ticking down?
That seems like
Great.
a pain in the ass.
What's the narrative excuse for you having the soul cube immediately?
It doesn't.
Ugh.
It's New Game Plus. There. That's the narrative excuse.
Actually, today, this is just a coincidence, but today I was listening to, I guess, Critical Role did a one-shot and sponsored by Doom Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
it was
sure.
basically something... Yeah, it was cool because they actually got Darren DePaul come in and voice Samuel Hayden.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. They obviously all get fucking destroyed at the end, but...
Okay, I've got a good run going.
All right.
Wild Frost now.
What's your build? Are you drawing cards? Is it a Shiv build?
Is Mini Mika there? She seemed like she was doing work for you that whole time.
Mini Mika is not here.
Do they randomize their names in that game?
Yes, not the companions. Your main characters' names are randomized.
Oh, okay. That's the character that gives somebody a armor or whatever it is, right? Or whatever
Mini
the term
Mika's what did you say? That's the character who does what?
The character I remember seeing, the name was different each run. When they did a thing where they give like another character scrap or something as or whatever the armor equivalent is.
Yeah, those characters, those companions stay the same. The main character changes every time.
How's Monch doing?
Monch is not here.
I also my brother and I watched the first
Foxy's
episode
here, though.
of Dungeon Meshi. Because I'm gonna be hip and relevant
Which
and
one is
actually
that?
watch an anime people care about. It's called Delicious in Dungeon.
Which one is that?
It's
I watched that.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode of that. I'm topical.
Yeah.
Look at me.
That man is that anime night character is very excited about the idea of eating monsters.
He is, and I love it.
I understand that.
That's all he wants to do.
The mangaka clearly thought very long about, like, okay, what would the ecology of a wizardry-style mega dungeon actually be? And also, what if we ate them?
Yes.
I'm asking that every day.
What if they were delicious?
What if monsters you found in an RPG were delicious? And what if you made your quest to cook and eat them?
My current D&D character is built entirely around eating people.
So, Dungeon Meshi, or Delicious in Dungeon for you gaijin.
What you call me?
Haha! I know what that means.
I forgot how long the ruin sequence at the end was. I remember recognizing when you got to like the beginning of it and going like, oh, you're near the end of the game. But yeah, it's like, oh yeah, this goes on for fucking ever.
It's just nice to have an
Delicious
area
in Dungeon
that looks different.
was a good time. It was a fun show.
I had the opposite memory, Relkin. I remember this part not being long, but Hell being a lot longer. Apparently, Braden didn't spend much time in Hell.
Got another win. Yeah, I did really enjoy. So, like in the first episode, they encounter a dwarf who it's unclear if it's like an actual fantasy world or if it's a video game or something. Because someone dies and then they're like, I remember the first time I died, and I was like, what? Okay, I guess so. Maybe it's a video game or something. But regardless, they meet a dwarf and the dwarf tells them. At first, they're trying to cook things and they're doing a bad job of it. And the dwarf is like, no, you need to use seasoning. You need to be taking the moss off of these gravestones.
Yeah.
And you need to be eating these weird tree roots. If you boil them long enough, they taste great.
Yeah.
You need the time when you take it off the spit to the music? And then it's perfectly cooked?
Yeah.
It's a Monster Hunter reference for you?
The Dungeon Meshi author / artist also did some very good. She redrew all of the Baldur's Gate character portraits.
Oh boy!
I think I posted that in our Discord.
I don't remember you posting that.
In the
Like
tabletop
in
one,
animes?
Like
Like in anime style? Or...
Like in the style, well, in the style of the way she draws things.
When would this have been?
This would have been a couple months ago.
Oh, well, I'm not going back.
Okay, I don't.
I'll take your word for it.
I'll.
Can you
I'll
post it
do
again?
better than take my word for it. I can just look it up. Ryoko Kui's portraits of all of the Baldur's Gate characters.
Mm.
Oh, I found it. I think I found it.
Okay.
I'm gonna start a run with a
it...
character named Smugbin.
Are you putting it in voice to text, or
I can put it in voice to text. Yeah.
I'll put it in the tabletop chat, and you tell me if that's it. It looks like it.
Yeah, I think that's. Let me look. Because for whatever reason, Doom doesn't like it if I alt tab too much.
Oh, that's neat. Oh, yeah, I vaguely recall this, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, your favorite character, Rasan.
Yeah. Yeah, she drew all of them.
I finished
Dorn.
Uncle from Another World.
Yeah,
by the way.
Isekai Uncle.
Yeah, I finished him. That show's okay.
That show makes references to the Sega Saturn.
That is the thing I enjoyed the most about that show.
Is the uncle, is the main character's like niece and nephew being like, Uncle, we have to talk to you about the Dreamcast.
Yes, that is my favorite part of the show, is when he wakes up and he's not worried about like what happened to his family. He's not worried about where he is because he wakes up in a hospital.
Like,
he's just like,
how's
how is
Sega
the
doing?
how's the Sega console doing? And they're like, Uncle, Sega doesn't make consoles anymore.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Setting new standards in both archaeological discovery and analysis. The UAC is proud to showcase
You know,
its findings on 4 unique
I think this big sarcophagus seems a little low.
What if you got into it?
Uh-huh, go ahead.
The surrounding area.
Oh, that's it.
No, I think 2024 is going to be the year of me watching anime again. It's been decided.
Yeah, I might be in the same boat. I had a bit of a return to it early in 2023, but
Why
why
hasn't the game been like this?
Gotta save it for the end.
Upside down crucified people? That's Doom.
With their stomachs opened.
Yeah, disemboweled? Yeah.
Yeah, I like this game. Wasn't enough Satan in it.
Not enough Satan. 6 out of 10. Screams arbitrary water.
I'm gonna do another replay of Doom 2016 soon.
Yeah.
Probably just a quick one. As much as part of me is like, what if I did everything?
What if you 100%ed it?
Yeah, I'd probably have more fun if I just busted through it.
Time is now to... Oh, look, I found id Software.
In the game?
I found the id Software secret room.
Yes, it's a secret room, yeah. It opens up somewhere. Like right there.
Yep, and then... Oh, it's all the developers saying thank you.
Adrian Carmack
That's nice
saying
of
thank
him.
you
Tim
like a few
Willits.
months before we could leave and sue them.
Yeah. It's funny, yeah. I recognize some of these names. Marty Stratton? You're welcome.
Wasn't he the Okay, yeah, he was the Doom 2016 director.
Yes.
Apparently joined in 1997.
Yeah.
That dude's been there a while.
This entire game has felt like flood levels. You're not wrong. Oh, it's the Cyber Demon.
That's a really good way to put it.
That's the meanest thing you could say, but you're not wrong.
I have played a bunch of Halo. I disagree. As in Halo, the Flood are generally just overwhelming, and here, like, it's only a handful of enemies ever spawning in. So before you
Do I
run out
shoot
of
its
ammo,
glowing chest?
no, don't run out of ammo. I can tell you the secret to beating him, but don't keep shooting him. You just have to solve him.
Oh, I just have to use the Q.
All flood levels sounds just the worst.
I mean, the library is like...
The library and Cortana are the worst.
Yeah.
The library is mainly bad because of the level design, though. I don't have a problem with fighting the Flood, but fighting them in the same fucking hallway forever. And from what I remember, Cortana, that's the level that's just
the level
the other one in
Halo 3
reverse.
where you have to
Oh,
go to the Covenant City again that's infested with the Flood.
Yeah, that's when you get back on High Charity.
I like that one.
That level is a nightmare on Legendary.
Yep.
It's by far the worst level of the game. And it follows right after a level called the Covenant, which is the best level in the game.
I do appreciate that the hotkey for the cube is a Q. Oh, god damn it.
It's an ultimate ass hotkey.
Oh, did it hit the...
It hit
That
the
sucks.
M.
Remember in Ultima 1, the hotkey for leaving a dungeon was X for exit?
Yeah, of course.
Oh. Boo.
Like, I think a lot of those early Ultima games and, like, Calibeth make a lot more sense when you remember that Richard Garriott was literally, like, 20.
Teenager. I mean,
He was, yeah, he was like 19 when he made a Calibeth.
Yeah.
And it's literally just like, hey, you know, my parents are rich enough that I have access to, you know, these computers, and I really like D&D. My name is Lord British.
I shall be called that from now on.
Because
You shall call me that.
I bet the Mastermind's Resurrection of Evil.
I don't think there is a Spider Mastermind in Doom 3 or Resurrection.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm not... Do I have to play Resurrection of Evil? How long is it?
Yeah, you do.
It's like...
You played all of
5
Doom
hours.
3, Brayden. Don't
You might
pretend
as
you're
well.
not
That
going to
depends.
play.
It depends entirely on how much you want to kill a certain someone.
You mean the guy who's like, ha ha ha, your soul?
I forgot that you see Doom Guy's face in this. Ugh.
Yeah. He's just a guy.
Yeah, you see Doom Guy's face in Doom Eternal.
I'm not looking forward to that, but...
I mean, you don't see it much.
Disgusting.
And even then,
I should
isn't it
never have
like
to see
through the
Doom Guy's
visor?
face.
He doesn't take off the helmet, does he?
He doesn't talk.
Good.
You know,
That's
I
the
mean-
real threshold you can't cross.
I mean,
It's just grunts.
well,
Are you gonna spoil Doom Eternal for me, Justin?
yes, I'm gonna spoil the deep lore and
They,
amazing story.
from what I understand, they do have deep lore, unnecessarily so.
They do. That's parts of that
Problem.
game have the story focused parts of that game are not great.
Yeah, but I want to kill a pain elemental.
You will.
Cool.
I did it.
Congratulations.
I beat the campaign
Anyway.
in 10 hours or less.
Anyway, Resurrection of Evil has a gravity gun.
A gravity gun in
And
a
a
video
double.
game from 2004?
4. This is pre Half-Life. Well, Resurrection of Evil is 2005, right? You don't have to play it if you don't to.
I mean, we could vote on, let's say, what people
Or you
want
could-
me to do next.
Or you could play this if you want to.
I don't. Not right now. If people want to vote for me to play this, they can vote for the same category. And I'll play this.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a poll.
Hooray! Braden's
Hey,
Not-
polls.
gonna be
Where
miserable,
go?
hopefully. Hopefully, Braden's less miserable with his
I'm-
life choices.
Yay.
Yay!
Ooh.
Boo. Anyway.
Braden supports democracy.
Ooh.
I take it your opinion of Doom 3 never changed much.
It's fine.
You got 20 people in your chat. I don't know how you want to,
Hello.
like...
Welcome to our twitch.tv/ Arbitrary Waterman.
He just finished the third Doom.
I finished Doom 3. a
If you'd
video
like to force
game-
this man to play more,
Oh, hi, Techie.
then vote stay here.
How were the game shows today? Were there weird British game shows about throwing darts, or how many did you watch the Richard Ayoade reboot of the Crystal Maze that I learned exists? Well, you're just in time for democracy. For the Tower of Dubious horror games. The current category we just did was a bit of a crossover with other things I've played. And you can choose what exciting titles I stream next. If you want me to get to Corpse Party, you gotta go this way.
Uh-oh. Make him go to Corpse Party.
If you want to see me upset,
I do.
yeah.
Let's go right.
British Jeopardy with Stephen Fry. Oh God, that sounds like it would be great or insufferable.
So, speaking of British game shows with Stephen Fry, how has post Stephen Fry QI been? Has it recovered? Is it still pretty good?
Oh, we might actually have to do
a young
one-off.
me was a bit of a British file, and I was exploring going to the University of Essex as a study abroad program. I ended up not doing it for a variety of personal reasons, but let's just say that I was pirating BBC media because they wouldn't air that shit in America. But yeah, like, of course, like Stephen Fry's late era, like, and that's the story of every game show host is there comes the late season moment But I feel like peak QI with Stephen Fry was like this cultural phenomenon that everyone was talking about. Like, they published a book that they then didn't use the term QI for a variety of reasons. Sandy Toksvig is also a great person.
I think you might be free of Doom.
Oh.
Oh no! If one more person votes stay here, you've got to go for a
runoff.
tiebreaker.
I mean, I definitely like Sandy Toksvig as a compliment to Noel on the Great British Bake Off versus Matt, because Matt is fucking awful.
I dislike Matt Lucas. I have a strong distaste for that man, and then I found out about Little Britain.
As I have said, I maintain with my dying breath that Little Britain is the most unwatchable piece of shit show that the BBC has ever
Britain
produced.
seems like a parody of what I would assume the lowest brow British comedy show of the early aughts to be.
And that's just like Matt Lucas's like whole milieu that's his thing.
It's just like, boy, you sure do hate poor people and gay people. And that's the joke. How many series did this last? This was how popular?
Would it surprise you, Braden, to know that Matt Lucas wrote whole episodes of The Ali G Show?
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I have my own issues with Sacha Baron Cohen, but the man is at least talented.
Oh, yeah, like, and you can tell that he's talented because all of his non-comedy stuff, his acting is genuinely, like, non-ironically good.
Yeah, he's like a...
Yes.
And as problematic as Borat really is, boy, that movie is kind of like... If that was the only movie that man directed, like, at least he did...
Yeah, but unfortunately, he did The Dictator.
Borat 2.
And
Look, I think that the Borat sequel obviously is not as good as Borat, and then also getting Rudy Giuliani in the position that he got Rudy Giuliani in
is funny.
It was. That is true.
Also, he's married to Ilsa Fisher.
Yeah, he sure is. Like, that man's living a very good life.
That man's doing just fine.
Oh, there's the poll.
All right, there's the poll. Welcome. We're gonna go back to beloved franchises. Maybe, who knows what exciting thing? Maybe I'll play Silent Hill Downpour. Maybe I'll play Dino Crisis 3
evil from Jess.
Did Jess play Silent Hill Downpour recently?
No, but what you could do is what Jess is doing. What if you were to find the YouTube videos and just watch all of the cutscenes for Silent Hill, that game?
Oh,
Ascension.
I don't want to steal her fire. That Silent Hill Downfall is art. That thing is
actually
one of the most inexplicable things I've seen in a very long time.
All right.
And you play a lot of bad games.
I do a lot of Silent Hill Downfall is not a game. It's an interactive narrative experience, Gino.
Ascension.
Silent Hill Ascension, excuse me. Downfall's the different game. Anyway, Rio's still playing Zelda, so we're gonna raid them.
Sure. I will, you know what? I'll start playing Eternite, but raid Rio.
Okay.
Raid Rio.
Rio. And I'm still playing my thing.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gino. I didn't realize.
Oh, that's fine. Did you raid Rio?
All right. We're raiding Rio. Say hi to them.
I'm going to play some anime horseshit.
I'm not.
Can't believe it, CP. You playing anime horseshit?
Me?
Yeah.
Play anime horseshit?